What's going on, everybody? This is Broken Games HDR. So, we've got some interesting news and information coming from an interview with Jim Ryan, who is the PlayStation president and chief executive officer. So, in an interview, he confirmed more PlayStation games are headed on PC, and he specifically name dropped Days Gone, which will be going to PC, most likely Steam, this spring. And his quote, this was the official quote, I believe, a whole slate of them is on the way, starting with Days Gone this spring. I believe that should be a whole slate of them are, but the article says is. But anyway, so that means there are more PlayStation games. Most likely, he's referring to PlayStation 4 games that are going to be headed to PC. Maybe a slight possibility of PlayStation 5 games that have already released, but I think it's most likely going to be older PlayStation 4 games. And I'm going to talk about exactly what I think they're doing and how they're going to do it. So, Days Gone released April of last year. No, it was April of 2 years ago. I don't know why it seemed Days Gone launched last year. It was actually 2 years ago in April. So by the time this launches on PC, it'll actually be 2 years. Time is really flying, especially, COVID is slowing stuff down and speeding stuff up at the same time. It's weird. So I remember on an episode of Weapon Wheel, this episode of Weapon Wheel might have been like a year ago or a year and some change. And I remember Porter Rock and Dark Cloud was on that episode, and one of the Weapon Wheel archivists can probably find it. And one of the things I said, because I believe this was around the time or around the time of rumors and discussion that PlayStation games would be headed to PC. This might have been before Horizon. This was definitely before Horizon dropped, or maybe before Horizon was even announced for PC. I can't remember exactly what sparked the conversation. But I remember saying specifically in that conversation, because it was very, it was a very interesting and polarizing conversation, that I believed, yes, they would be dropping PC games, PlayStation games on PC, but I just didn't think that they would be doing it day one, which obviously we haven't seen any example of them doing that, because I believe this is their plan, and I don't have any problem with this plan. Is they, after a year or 2 years of some of the PlayStation exclusives no longer selling, when the sales have completely dropped off a cliff, right? There's no surge in sales, like even when you drop the price and after you drop the price a couple of times and everything like that, and it seems like there's really no reason to keep the game exclusive. Put it on PC, help it get a little bit of a sales surge, get like a second round of sales on PC. I think that's a great idea, because at least from a company standpoint, from a consumer, I don't really care. I'm gonna probably play the games where I prefer to play them which will usually be PC. But if I have to wait a year or 2 years to play a game, I'm probably not gonna wait that long. There are a few exceptions, like with Neo, where I waited Neo 2 specifically. I waited a year to play that, but I probably wouldn't wait 2 years, right? If the game is in a viable condition, right? Visually, frame rate, resolution, all that stuff. As long as that's okay, then I'm probably okay with playing it on a console. But Neo, the first Neo was like 900p or something wild on PlayStation 4. That's why I actually waited on PC to get it, right? So back to my point, yeah, I think they're gonna wait for sales to completely die off, wait a year to 2 years, and then re-release the games on PC, because from a company standpoint, it will still kind of like make people have to buy a PlayStation, because there's the crowd who will want to play these games day one, like me for the most part. I'm gonna want to play these games day one. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna want to wait to play these PlayStation exclusives, the ones I really like. I'm not gonna want to wait a year to 2 years to play them for the most part. That's not gonna happen, right? And then there's the crowd who doesn't mind waiting, who maybe won't ever buy a PlayStation. So after a year or two, you then give them that game because the game wasn't selling anyway. So that's probably how they're going to make the most profit and squeeze the most out of these games. And like I said, I don't have an issue with it. I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with it either way, but I think there's an optimal way for them to do it. So I personally don't see them dropping brand new games day one, or as some people like to say, day and date on PC and PlayStation. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't see it. I think they will continue to release games exclusively as as of right now on PlayStation 5, and then in a year to 2 years release it on PC. Some people think that, for example, with Horizon, them already putting Horizon on PC for PC players to experience it, then Horizon 2, for example, they will launch it on PC and PlayStation simultaneously. I don't think they're going to do that, right? Same thing with Days Gone. We know Days Gone is going to PC in the spring. If they make a Days Gone 2, I personally still think it's going to be exclusive to PlayStation, and then like a year after, Days Gone 2 will go to PC. Like I said, that's just my prediction. That's my thought. That's how I see them doing it. Until they show me something else, that's going to be, how I think they're going to handle it. Either way, doesn't really matter. But there are definitely some games I'm would welcome to PC, especially if it reinvigorates the player base. For example, Killzone Shadowfall. Yeah, I know I'm one of the only people who enjoyed I'm one of the few people around here who enjoyed Killzone Shadowfall multiplayer. But if you put it on Steam and it gets a new player base because it's pretty much dead on PlayStation, yeah, I would definitely play that. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think there's certain titles that they know are popular enough, and I don't think they're going to waste their time putting everything on PC. Like for example, like Infamous, yeah, I think that's going to PC. Killzone, probably not. Knack, probably not, because these games are just not popular enough. They weren't a hit. I think it's going to be the blockbusters, like the real quality flagship titles that sold well. I mean, Last of Us, probably I could see that probably going to PC. Even Last of Us 2, like I said, I think PlayStation 5 titles will also go there eventually, like a year or two after its initial release. So I see that happening. I don't see it. I don't see it being every PlayStation exclusive title. I mean, listen, they should put Dreams on there. Listen, they should put Dreams on there yesterday, because Dreams is very much a type of game that a PC crowd would play and keep alive and pay for. That game did not do well on PlayStation, right? It got a lot of hype from PlayStation dudes early, and then after that, it was kind of, dead and gone. But that's something that's right up PC gamers' alley. That type of game. So Dream should go on there. Definitely, I could see Ghost of Tsushima on there. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima is it's a year old. No, it's not even a full year old. So this fall it will be a year old. So maybe after it's a year old, they'll probably announce that for PC. So yeah, their heavy hitters are probably going to go to PC eventually. Like I said, I just don't think it's going to be day one. But let me know how y'all think about this. I see a lot of PlayStation fanboys losing their mind and having conniptions and being pretty upset about this. They're kind of salty and mad, and they're losing their breakfast and throwing up. And listen, it's gonna be y'all gonna be okay. I promise y'all are gonna be okay. Everybody check on Jack Move from time to time today. Make sure he's all right. Let me know what y'all think about this. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Check out Weapon Wheel Podcast this Sunday. Support the Weapon Wheel Patreon. Hit the join button to become a member of the channel, and hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. I'll catch y'all on the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.